What is up, Libation Nation? Welcome to Liberty Libations number 154. On the docket for tonight, we've got more escalation in Venezuela. We've got banks messing with Bitcoiners. We've got President Predicto, Drunkard of the Week, and a whole lot more. But before all that, I'm joined by Alden Hardee and Zane Placie, soon to be joined by Stephen Hilton. I think he just enjoys making an entrance at this point in time. I don't think I'm not even sure he has kids.
Yeah. We keep making the same joke too.
Yeah, we're on a roll tonight, Alden. Yeah. Should you just want to take over running the show?
Yeah, I think I should host.
Okay. Well, per usual, Alden, what are you drinking tonight, my man?
Ooh, so I've got for the holidays we picked up like not just like your standard Walmart vermouth, but like a really nice vermouth and a little gin with some orange peel. It's like sort of like a simple, like poor man's Negroni kind of a thing. Cocoa notes and like orange and herb. It's really nice. I like it a lot. And then a blood orange Berliner out of Alabama because I needed something to make a sound. You know, it probably doesn't go well. But
Brian says eggnog, yay or nay, Alden?
Hell yeah. If it's good eggnog, not again, like if it comes in a glass jar and it tastes good and it's like a, you know, creamy and thick and it's not like, I don't know.
It's not the one in the milk carton container from Walmart.
Yeah, I'll pass on those, honestly.
Yeah. All right, Zane, what do you think?
It's like shelf-stable eggnog, then no thank you.
Fair.
I've got some cranberry wine that I picked up when I was in Washington.
Okay.
I've never heard of cranberry wine. That sounds great. Okay.
Well, I haven't had cranberry wine since I was 18. I mean 21.
Well, I'm also in the holiday spirit. Drinking out of the shot glass from Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation.
That is such a good movie and a hilarious
It is
glass.
incredibly difficult to drink from this and to pour into it.
I always thought that watching that, but
it's Ardbeg Wee Beastie, which is all I've had on the road.
Out of the like moose glass, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a wee beast, you know. I mean, literally. It's literally a wee beast.
Oh, yeah, that one is, yeah.
All right, everybody. Tonight we're joined by a super special guest that we're going to ask him some questions later. And
we are?
Yeah, and he's going to give us some really good answers. It's a President Predicto.
I didn't know that.
It's Donald Trump's crystal ball little toy for Christmas. So we're going to ask him some things. Actually, let's just start with one. Mr. Trump, will the U.S. go to war with Venezuela?
So.
I think so, is what he said.
Is that what it said? Okay.
Is this officially licensed merchandise, or did someone in China off Amazon make it?
I think someone in China off Amazon. Like I think it's completely ripped off. I think it has something like 40 sayings that he's said. I've gone through about 20 of them so far. It's pretty stinking funny. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the Venezuela topic for the evening. I've got a 2-minute long video to watch real quick. Everybody's going to go off screen. We're just going to watch it. So there we go.
What would you assume is the most major threat on the world stage? Anybody, just call it out. You don't have to raise your hand.
Definitely Russia.
Definitely Russia. That's confident. I like it. Who says Russia? Anybody agree with her? Hands? Okay, great. Who else?
China.
Stop yelling at me, but China is a good answer. Anybody? Who else? China?
North Korea?
North Korea. Any North Korea takers? And Venezuela? Anybody? Nope. Oh, yeah. One guy in the back. A little worried about Venezuela. Everybody's cool with Venezuela? No threat? Okay. Let me ask you this. Which one of these places can claim to have the largest oil deposit on the planet? More than Saudi? More than Iran? Wow. Okay. What about things like gold? More than all the mines in Africa combined? The fact is that Venezuela is arguably the single greatest resource of oil and minerals on the planet. So, why is this country in the midst of one of the greatest humanitarian crises in modern history? Analyst predictions, as of today, have the chances of Venezuela's total economic collapse at 87%. On the news, they'll call it a crisis. But on the world stage, they'll call it a failed state. If you've never heard that term, other examples of a failed state in recent history are Yemen, Iraq, and Syria. And if that's not bad enough news for you, well, Venezuela is also the only one of these places within 30-minute range from the US of next-gen nuclear missiles. You will not hear about any of this on the news because the biggest players on the world stage do not want you to. To them, unstable governments are nothing more than the greatest of opportunities. So, Russia, China, can never be the most major threat until countries like Venezuela leave the door open to our very own backyard.
All right. So that was 6 years ago. That was on the show Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan with John Krasinski. And
wait, that wasn't from The Office?
Yeah.
And so most of the stuff he says in there is very true. But what they do at the end is they try to get you scared of Venezuela, which Alden loves this topic of TV shows and movies trying to put in government propaganda into the Hollywood scene. So Alden, what was your first thought on like the very end of that?
I agree, like with the ramp up of like you won't hear it on the news and blah blah blah, and you know that it's in terms of like the main like the stage thing. Yeah, exactly. But then the switch is that like really I think that we are more the bullies of these types of places around the world, and not like that they are a threat to us really in the grand scheme of things. And then they'll throw something out like, oh, WMD is under some fucking buddy's house or kitchen, or you know, just some crazy shit, and then you'd be like, what? And like before you can even like make sense of it, we're like rolling tanks in, and you know, it's like we've declared them a threat or whatever. But it's through movies and stuff like this that it will like plant little seeds in people's minds that it's like a threat, so that when we do see it and when it happens, I think we're less shocked and we're just like, oh well, they had it coming, they were a threat. Like, you know, I don't know, it's
Dude, that's exactly right. And mind you, that was 6 years ago, and we're starting to do some pretty crazy things down in Venezuela at this point in time.
It takes time to get in the sort of general, what would you call that? Like the, not zeitgeist, but like the collective consciousness or whatever of like the people like through, you know, because not everyone sees every movie. Yeah. So you need time to kind of like have it work. So 6 years is actually feels right about right to me.
Yeah. I mean, it takes time to get people to get on board with, or at least be completely apathetic towards going after another country. Like it seems to happen quite a bit. And this Venezuela one is just the most recent thing that started happening. And, you know, rather than using terrorists that bombed the World Trade Center, they're using the term narco terrorists now. And so it's the same game, just a new spot. I've got a few more videos and things on this topic to show, but Zane, did you have any comments on Jim from The Office talking about Venezuela?
Well, I do find it hilarious how the word terrorist has essentially just become a suffix that you can place after any word that you want. You know, pretty soon we're going to have like podcast terrorism.
Can we be classified as that? That would be pretty great.
But
I'm sure
in response to, I thought he said one thing that was very interesting, which was the emphasis on it becoming a failed state. And what happens if, you know, it becomes a failed state? Oh no, it might nuke us. But guess what is a great way of making sure that it becomes a failed state when it may not otherwise?
The CIA.
Yeah, us doing a whole bunch of stuff to interfere and maybe go to war down there before, like we're causing the very problem that we're saying that we're afraid of.
Yes.
Speaking of causing the very thing, the drug laws that we have in this country are setting us up for even if it were true about the whole drug running and the whatever, like even if you believed every word of that and that is the threat, a lot of that would not be there if we had handled this very differently as far as the war on drugs over the years since like the 60s or whatever.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. You're correct. Let's watch another video real quick because it talks about some of the stuff we've been mentioning.
Somewhere over these blue waters, history is repeating itself. For the first time in decades, U.S. bombers are flying near Venezuelan. Somewhere over these blue waters,
sorry about that, yeah.
somewhere over these blue waters, history is repeating itself. For the first time in decades, U.S. bombers are flying near Venezuelan skies, under the same old pretext, fighting drugs. But beneath that label lies a plan we've seen before. In recent weeks, American B-52s have traced paths close to Venezuelan airspace. Naval fleets patrol the Caribbean, and drones have struck boats near Venezuela's coast, killing at least 27 people. Washington calls them traffickers. But there's no trial, no proof, only lethal force beyond any international law. Across Latin America, outrage is growing. Human rights groups, from the New York City Bar to global observers, call these actions illegal. They echo one message: no one, not even a superpower, can play judge, jury, and executioner at sea. The pattern looks familiar. Create a threat, frame a mission, and deploy force. 20 years ago, it was weapons of mass destruction. Today, it's drug traffickers. Different map, same script. The world is watching another blueprint unfold. This time over the richest oil ground on the planet, and silence now means consent. Share the map. Speak the truth. History doesn't have to repeat. Not if we trace the lines before they turn into war.
Yeah, if you don't like, subscribe, and hit the bell, you probably want to go to war in Venezuela. I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
So
That's fair. Although that account is pretty cool. What he does with all these different maps is pretty sweet, and it kind of gives. I love maps, so it kind of gives me a good visual representation of stuff that's going on. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, what do y'all think of that one?
Yeah, I see a lot of parallels with the Iraq setup, and in terms of basically everything that we had already just kind of outlined. It seems eerily familiar. It's like it really is just like the same old routine, just like plug and play a different quote unquote threat, and then it is just so funny where it's like, there's a lot of resources there that we would be into or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So one thing I want to point out, and I don't know if we'll get into it more in later videos, but like talking to conservatives, even ones that are generally anti-war, about why it's a problem to just nuke boats out of the water with no trial. All these organizations, like the video mentioned human rights groups. One of the logos that came up on the screen there was a New York City bar. There is still a certain type of conservative, even ones that are anti-war, that will essentially see that this happening and say, well, they probably had it coming, even if there's no actual proof that they were trafficking drugs or doing anything. And if you point to the fact that of all these organizations saying, wow, they're doing this with no due process and they have to stop, that this type of person will realize how much of a leftist organizations all of these people are. Like the ACLU, all these organizations have kind of a bad track record of being really far left, unfortunately. So they'll see that and they'll say, well, what do you expect these far left organizations to say? Of course they're in favor of the drug traffickers. So it's like trying to come up with some kind of way of saying, if you're okay with blowing these boats up with no trial or any due process, like that's un-American. Like the U.S. is founded on,
it's un-American.
It's founded on, the rule of law, everyone being presumed innocent until proven guilty. Like we saw this, with January 6th, where it's like they accused a whole bunch of people of stuff that they didn't do, or on greatly trumped up charges, and then held them in jail for years with no trial. And it's like all these conservatives are perfectly capable of seeing how evil it is to not have a trial when it's their own people. But, when it's Venezuelan fishermen, they're like, well, they're almost certainly drug traffickers, so they had it coming.
Yeah, that's so true. Before we go any further, let's welcome to the stage Mr. Stephen Hilton.
Hey, fellas, back in front of a camera.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Doing great. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you, man. We're talking Venezuela. We watched a clip from Jack Ryan that was about 6 years ago of him talking about how Venezuela is the next big threat to the United States, which we kind of named as propaganda.
Yeah.
And we just watched a video kind of detailing some similarities between how we framed Iraq and Afghanistan and how we're framing Venezuela now.
That was my knee-jerk reaction to that was Venezuela's a threat to us like Afghanistan is a threat to Russia.
Right.
Right. Yeah, because the guy that really is a threat could move in there and do business with them.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that was kind of his point, Zane, in the video, the Jack Ryan episode, was somebody's going to take advantage of Venezuela's desperate situation.
And that's why we need to take advantage of it first.
And
we need to make it more desperate so we get it for cheaper.
There we go. Yeah.
The American way.
What are you drinking tonight, Stephen?
So, gosh, I cannot get off of this stuff. The Creature Comforts Winter IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you guys are going to love this. Another seasonal IPA. Sierra Nevada Northern Hemisphere Harvest. It's a wet hop. So they come up with Celebration around Christmas time, which is also a wet hop IPA.
What the frick does wet hop mean?
It throws
instead of using pellets or hash or oils, they actually use the wet hop plant. So you get all the plant matter, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds terrible.
No, it's good.
I mean, they filter that out. It's not chunky.
I like chunks in my IPA. No,
right.
It tastes great.
I just feel like that would make it even hoppier.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's just straight up like a lawnmower blade.
Perfect. Okay.
It really stands on top of it. Like the nose is really bright, and it is, I think, even a little bit more like that.
Rudolph.
Bitter, like the nose is bright. The winter IPA. No, it does smell and taste different than when you use like compressed dried, like dry hopping. It's dry hopping and wet hopping are the terms, but
those are two different things as well. But the wet hop actually refers to using the whole hop plant.
Right.
The process of dry hopping is
that's just when you put it in after the fact.
That's adding hops during fermentation.
Like,
yeah.
You know.
I only know pool hopping, but that's just me. What?
Bar hopping, yeah.
Zach wants to know what percent alcohol.
So this Creature Comforts is 7.1, so it's actually beer.
Not bad.
Beer starts
at 7. You got a job at Utah, or
beer starts at 7. So Guinness could never be a beer.
No, Guinness is just a dinner drink. Yeah, it's a gentleman's drink.
Just feed it to children, you know.
And then this other one, it's a 6.7, so it's basically a seltzer.
So you're drinking beer and water tonight. That's
right.
That's
what
I'm hearing. Okay.
It's a hop seltzer. A quick thing on Guinness, just that, like, I used to, everyone that would come through the bar would be like, "Oh, I can't drink Guinness. It's too heavy for me." And I'm like, it literally, we float it on top of almost every other beer. It's lighter than almost everything. Like, it's weird that it got this, like, just because it's dark.
Just because it's dark, man.
Heavy, like,
people think dark things are heavy. I don't know why. It's bizarre.
They do be thick sometimes.
They do.
I'm going to comment on that.
Okay, we're going to go to the next video.
U.S. attacking Venezuela tonight. In addition to these two F-18s just north of Venezuela, a European member of parliament from Poland tweeted something very interesting. It was a photo of two B-2 Spirits, and he said, "Venezuela tonight, you have been warned." Additionally, there's rumors that the leader of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, fled to Brazil to avoid whatever's about to happen. Although that's, of course, not confirmed. But as of roughly an hour and a half ago, so 6 p.m. Central Time, two F-18s from the U.S. Navy were seen just north of Aruba, which is just north of Venezuela, as you can see here. I guess we'll see what happens.
For those who don't know this guy, Aaron R. Hines, he's on Instagram. He basically, if you want to know about any airplane or flight news that's happening anywhere in the world, this is the guy.
Is that the dude that was tracking Elon Musk for a while?
Yeah, he's tracked Elon, he's tracked Putin. He's always on this whatever program this is, and constantly doing. And he flies simulators to show you how certain aircraft will perform, or like why a certain crash happened and things like that.
I'd love to hear his thoughts on the whole rigmarole with the planes and helicopters and stuff with the whole Vegas shooting situation.
Oh yeah,
because there was a lot about this on that.
Yeah. I bet he would have a video on that actually. So yeah, that was a week ago. Obviously, we have not gone to war with Venezuela in the past week, but the fact that somebody's tweeting about bombers flying to Venezuela, like somebody in power, that's kind of alarming. Seems a little aggressive and maybe stupid to do that.
Well, and hyping it like a UFC fight, like that's the part where I'm like, okay, like you're a whole ass country acting like that, like
the theater of war, like
being Conor McGregor, being who was the other one? Sugar. Oh my gosh, that was his nickname was Sugar, but he just got his butt kicked by one of those Dagestani wrestlers.
Okay.
Anyway, he'd go back and forth like that. Yeah. Just like a little college kid on the internet. Oh yeah, come on! I'm at your mom's house already. Stuff, and just like, why is our military doing this? Sean O'Malley, thank you, some quack.
Sean O'Malley, there we go. Yeah, it's the same thing that Trump did a few weeks ago, talking about how we have the CIA. I gave them permission to go into Venezuela. It's like, what? Why are you announcing this to the world? Like, I don't understand. It's
so covert, it's so secret, everybody's saying it's so covert. Like,
well, at least the president gave them permission this time.
I was gonna make a similar crack at that actually, where it's like they've been there many times, like without
that is a funny one, but like it's so overt and so like counterintuitive to how these things normally occur that it's a little unsettling and
at least not even trying anymore.
Well, and so there's one angle to this where this works and where this actually makes sense to me, and if it's actually the case, it's scary. So Palmer Luckey was just recently on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Great episode.
It was awesome. I did not expect it to go. I mean, they talk about tech and games for like 30 minutes, and then like the middle 2 hours is politics. And by the way, he's a libertarian. I mean, because
libertarian leaning.
But he opened up his rants with, "We don't need to be the world police. We need to be the world's gun store," and I can make half of that stuff.
Yes,
so he did push his own brand. But one of the things that he was talking about, because Joe was asking like, "Hey, you're exposed to all this stuff, this next gen tech, next gen this, next gen that, space age, blah blah blah. What have you seen anything that just really just gives you chills to think of that actually being used?" And Palmer didn't even flinch. He was just like, to me, the way media mind control works, and not just here, but globally, the way the media of the country has a hold on its populace and specifically its soldiers. He's like, because by far, humans are still the tool for all of this. Nothing goes kinetic without a human flipping the switch, pulling the trigger, writing the program, doing this, doing that.
We don't have
I mean, even if you go fully autonomous, fully automated, there's no more boots on the ground in the battlefield. You still need a human to toggle the joystick. You still need a human to flip the switch, write the all that stuff.
I'm getting strong war games vibes that open.
Well, but he was saying that, just what he's seen from actual mind control through propaganda is still by far the most devastating weapon he's ever encountered. Nothing touches it. Because it was like, for instance, he was talking about some of the down fighter jets that were in Ukraine. The Russian pilots. So one of the pilots that went down, and this was like, when things were really starting to pop off. It was over Kyiv. It was like, huge firefight, multinational. It was Ukraine. It was Russia. We were there. Some Chinese stuff was going on, and there was a couple of the down fighter jets, and they look in there, and the guy has enough water for like 3 days, enough food for like 2 days, 50 condoms, a pair of dress blues, and 1 pair of civilian clothes. That was that guy's entire pack out. He honestly thought it was going to be like a 6-hour firefight, and then he was going to go down and be like this absolute hero. And he wasn't some enlistment. This was an officer flying a fighter jet.
Yeah.
And he said, so, and it works with our stuff too. So that's the only way I can think is like, maybe instead of actually having assets on the ground to go kill this guy, we're just going to put out international news stories of like, hey, our spooks are down there. And that's going to embolden his populace that's already ravenously hungry and starving and poor.
Interesting.
Maybe the condoms were for like little mini like water canteens. You know what I mean? Like just hold a bunch of water with you.
Right. Yeah.
I don't hate that theory because it just seems like abnormal behavior to be announcing a bunch of this stuff and to be so provocative online. I mean, that's kind of Trump's thing, but he's never done it in this way that I can remember. And I don't hate that it's more for the citizens of Venezuela and not so much for us.
If we achieve our actual goal and don't have to expend American lives in the process, mission accomplished, right?
I don't
know. That might be giving him too much credence. That's like a whole 4D chess kind of thing, but really it's not, because Eisenhower talked about the whole social engineering mind control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been done before. I've heard of, if you don't have to use actual violence to target another country. You can literally just use propaganda.
That's right. Yeah. The chair is against the wall.
Yeah.
The chair is against the wall.
There you go. Got another, let's see. This is another video.
25% of all deployed U.S. warships are now in the Caribbean with the arrival of USS Gerald Ford, the newest and largest warship in the U.S. Navy's inventory, joined by dozens of other warships, including guided missile destroyers, have a few guided missile cruisers in there, Lake Erie, USS Iwo Jima, an amphibious assault ship, of course, loaded out with 2,000 Marines in full combat load. All taking place, of course, just here off the coast of Venezuela. And don't forget, we have B-52 bombers from Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. We have fifth-generation F-35 fighter jets in Roosevelt Roads, Puerto Rico over here. That's an old Navy base that was been shuttered for many years now. 25.
Wow, I'd love to know what Congress thinks about this.
Right.
It looks like we're tracking a hurricane. Like,
it's really strange to see, I mean, not exact positions, but general positions of like where our battleships and aircraft carriers
and here's
are
our secret.
It's like we're playing Risk.
Yeah, we've come a long way from Geraldo almost being brought up on treason charges to, now it's just, hey, let's just give them a graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that infamous thing over there?
Yeah,
when Geraldo, he was
Yeah.
drawing lines in the sand. Here's Fallujah, here's Ramadi. We're here, headed this direction. And you hear somebody in the background like, dude.
So good. But yeah, basically the headline of that was 25% of all deployed U.S. warships. So not 25% of our whole fleet, but 25% of the deployed ones are in the Caribbean.
Which, I mean, there's like, what, 10?
It'd be a lot more than that.
I think they're just on vacation. This time of year, they're just trying to get some sun.
Dude, just look at here. I'll bring it back up.
Where else would they be? Honestly. Okay. So, we need a South China Sea presence close to home.
Look at all these. There's like 15, 7, 8, 3. I don't know. There's lots of these things.
Okay. Well, I was thinking aircraft carriers.
Oh no. Yeah. I think it's battleships, aircraft carriers, and other military vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah. So
does each one of those boats on the screen represent one boat or
No.
like a squadron of boats or
squadron of boats? Or it
number.
depends. Some of them are groups of 6, some of them are groups of 3, 15, 7, 8, 11, 2, 12.
Which one is Tom Cruise on?
I think Tom Cruise is actually running the entire mission. I think he's back in
He's training everyone for it. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Also, in the meantime, The U.S. has urgently warned all Americans in Venezuela to leave the country immediately.
I mean, we did that in 2018.
Yeah. Some quack says Google says 100 are deployed right now. 100 ships.
Okay. So yeah, 25%. Great. Close to home. That's what we want, right? I mean, we don't need them posturing on somebody else, but close to home. It's where they belong.
I do like that side of it. They're not too far away, but they're far enough where they could hit somebody else, which is not ideal.
Yeah, at least we're in our own hemisphere this time.
Yeah, so true. So true. That was the last graphic on the whole situation in Venezuela. I think what we should remind folks of is how many times we have staged some type of overthrow of a government in South America alone. Just South America. I think it's like 11 of the countries in South America in South and Central America
Isn't it multiple times though in some too? Like
a couple of them were more than once.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of this. So I don't know if y'all paid attention. Alden probably doesn't know, but Steven and Zane probably do. That the like double tap on a boat a couple weeks ago where Hegseth had to answer for it. And basically they shot at this boat. It glanced it, maybe hurt a few people, but then they hit it again and killed everybody on board. And it was drug dealers. It was just what they call narco terrorists. But these people never got a trial.
They're pharmacists at sea,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think, this is a product of partially of the drug war being so ingrained in American society that like there are a large group of people that cannot see past the fact or their idea that drugs are just evil.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Drugs are evil and should be regulated at any cost. And I just don't think that's true. I think if they were actually able to see the costs in person, they might reconsider or at least think about it a little more and maybe not be so. There are people cheering for killing these guys, and like half of them are just little peons in the organization, just working out of Venezuela.
We don't know, but trying to maybe just like feed their family. I don't know. Like I think there's two
sides
to that,
of course they are, and that's how like, hey, you noticed your buddy didn't come back. Well, they say, okay, well, you're going in now. You're up. You take this load, or I'm killing your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so there is that angle, and it's unfortunate they just got they got caught between a rock and a hard place.
There's the human story side, and then there's also, but before you were on, I think we were talking about like there's also the on our side even there's not a whole lot of like onus taken on our side for like our drug laws and how harsh we are on things, substances like that created like a black market demand. And then there's even a third angle, which is the CIA taking advantage of that and smuggling in drugs for profit because of the laws that we've made or whatever. So like it's hairy and weird, and there's a lot of gray.
And here's another angle. China's paying us back for what we did to them to get our railroads built.
With the fentanyl or something, or what do you?
Well, it was opium, heroin. It was the Roosevelt family. Once you make money, it takes 2 or 3 generations to really clean all
modern times. Okay,
to really clean all the blood off of it, and so that's how Teddy and Franklin were able to become president, and none of that ever came up. They weren't like, hey, how many Chinese did you enslave or addict to drugs so we could get our railroads built? That was Granddaddy, wasn't them. So they're paying us back for that. But what's coming, if it's coming through China, and that's usually what's happening, and that's why it's become a military operation. So it's the fentanyl, which is a whole nother level. But a lot of what China is sending over is actually carfentanil, which is elephant tranquilizer.
Yep.
So like the size of 1 grain of salt kills. There's not enough Narcan in an ambulance to save you. It's you
wild.
touch it at all, you are done.
Wow.
Done. So that is regulated to the point our DEA only allows 100 grams of that to be manufactured in the United States per year, because that is precisely what's needed to tranquilize.
100 grams?
100 grams per year, period.
For the whole country?
For the whole country, because that's exactly what's needed. God. All the elephants we have in captivity, that's enough.
That's 2 grams a state.
We can incapacitate them for a biannual exam or transport them as needed. And that's all that we're allowed to manufacture here. And so we're catching literal boatloads of it being sent from China through Mexico and via Venezuela and things like that. And so I'm not saying that's what happened with this boat in particular, but boats have been caught, and then they confirm it is carfentanyl. It's not just your street fent. It's the elephant tranquilizer. It's enough to kill the entire country 5 times over. You know, they could fly a blimp over. You know, they could wait for an NFL championship game and just fly a blimp over it and cut up in one of the bags and
just
whole
sneak
stadium
some
gone.
in the confetti when whatever team wins. You know. Like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you're probably right. It's enough to kill the entire country 5 times over. But
how would you?
How like what is the implementation of do like? Obviously, they're not expecting to kill the entire population of the United States, because most of us aren't ever going to come anywhere near this stuff.
Label it fluoride, and we'll put it in our own water.
Yeah, but it's more of a political statement than anything. You know, instead of sending a tweet saying "coming at your back door, peep this," you know, instead of saying that, they're just going to send a boatload of it.
I never want to see that note anywhere.
Right.
Well, as far as the Venezuela thing goes, I'm just waiting for the Trump speech where he goes, "We're going to invade. They're going to greet us as liberators. They're going to love that we're there, and we're going to establish a real democracy."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So a couple things. First of all, I think it's important to clarify that I'm not saying that literally everyone that we've killed over there is not a drug dealer, because probability would indicate that probably some of them are.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. Before you blow up a boat, it's not good enough to think 50% that they're drug dealers or 75% that they're drug dealers. You need to actually either have a trial if we're not at war with them at the moment, or you know, if you want to actually have Congress declare war and then actually make an argument that they're enemy combatants, then okay, those are your 2 options: arrest them and have a trial, or actually have Congress declare war and somehow say that they're enemy combatants. You can't. It doesn't matter. You know, aside from that, if you think they were probably terrorists, that's not good. That's actually really not good enough.
Yeah, agreed.
What if they were on their way to somewhere else where the drugs are legal? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Like,
fair.
They're in international waters. Like, why are we just blowing
and not
them
very
up?
far off the coast of Venezuela?
Yeah. What if they were just going up for a day ride and they're taking them right back? You're just giving the drugs some seawater air, you know, just like it's good for them, you know?
Yeah. What was your next point, Zane?
And then also, it's not that I love the government of Venezuela, obviously. It's really bad. My objection is not to any attempts to overthrow the Venezuelan government. It's specifically to outside entities, especially the government of the United States, thinking, oh, we can just do it ourselves and it'll be great. Mm-hmm. Because, first of all, that line of thinking turns the U.S. into a military-industrial complex when it should be a republic. It should be the city on the hill that all the other countries try to imitate by example. And if we're going
don't you mean the gun store on the hill? That's what you meant.
Yes.
Yeah. Keep going, Zane.
And if we're going around trying to liberate everyone, then the good example of what a constitutional republic with freedom and liberty has, that goes away. And then also, practically speaking, every time we've tried this before, it just doesn't work because the U.S. military is not very good at nation building. Anyone that's ever been in the military will tell you that. And also, even if the citizens of a country really don't like their own government and might even be on the verge of withdrawing their consent from it and trying to change it, which, you know, as a believer in the Declaration of Independence, I believe that people have the right to alter or abolish their government if they want to. And I might even say that people from outside might try to message to them saying, hey, that it might be a good idea if you did that. But the moment that you bring in your own military and overthrow their government, the people of that country very often will, no matter how much they hated their government before, actually rally around their own country and their own government against you, the foreign invader. So if you want, peace and freedom and economic prosperity for Venezuela, the best thing for us to do right now is to butt out of it and wait to see what their own people are going to do about it.
I agree. We're not good at nation building. I agree with that, but we're really good at nation destabilizing if it serves our
Well,
purpose.
we can slap some infrastructure in.
But then again, that's part of the whole point. This is like the whole like fucking no contract or no bid contract in Iraq and stuff. And like after the fact, it's like destabilize and destroy, and then roll in and be like, oh, we can build that. Like we'll charge you this or whatever. And then, like, oh, you can't get your oil out of the ground anymore. Like we'll help you rebuild it for now we get a percentage of it. And like, of course, that's part of the whole thing is like the rebuild promise. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, it's like if you want to really hand over Venezuela to the cartels, go in and overthrow the Maduro government. What do you think is going to happen then?
Yeah, exactly. Stephen, were you about to say something?
Well, I was just going to say that was one of Tim Dillon's revelations after he did a comedy tour of in the Middle East. He went to all the places where 2003, 4, 5, 6. Those are places that we were heavily occupying and destroying. And he's walking around and there's Jersey Mike's, KFC, Popeyes. Like he's like, what am I in New Jersey? What?
Dude,
I thought it was in Iraq.
It's New Jersey.
But then he starts asking around, and he's like, who owns that building? Who owns that building? Who owns that building? It's Halliburton.
Yep.
Halliburton.
I
really
tried not to just name drop because I've said Halliburton so many fucking times on this channel. But yeah, Halliburton was the one that was getting no bid contracts. By the way, from Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Whatever. Never mind. I don't want
to But I got curious while we were talking about this, about Venezuela trying to take another angle. I was like, hey, Venezuela rare earth minerals. Yeah. There was an article by The Hill that was written this morning.
Oh,
dang. Okay.
That apparently by Maduro's own proclamation, they have over $1 trillion worth of mineral wealth outside of oil. So bear in mind the oil they have is very sulfurous, very sticky, very gross, very dense.
You have talked about this before. The quality.
Yeah, it's very poor quality oil.
It's sludge. It's the hardest to work with.
Yeah, that is interesting though.
And that makes it less desirable. But yeah, you're right about the minerals. They actually talked about this in the first video we watched a little bit. They have more gold than all of the mines of Africa.
They mentioned gold, but I was going to ask about things like cobalt and other things that you need for like batteries. I wasn't sure what their percentage was of the world's like rare earth, minerals or whatever.
Yes, this says bauxite, coltan, gold, and rare earth minerals. I don't know what coltan is, but bauxite's like coal, right?
I have no idea, honestly.
You didn't name any mineral that I know except gold. It's the only one that matters anyway.
Yeah. But the rare earth minerals, I mean, with the AI race going on right now, China's got a lot. I mean, the lithium supply is locked up by China. And that's why, Elon Musk made a pitch to his shareholders a couple of years ago to switch to a cobalt battery because we could potentially mine our own cobalt.
Yeah, in North Carolina,
Alaska, several other places.
Sorry.
Texas. Hey. And so that was, he was trying to make that push, and that's going to be a thing, but it's not going to be a thing immediately. So in the interim, let's say 5 to 10 years, we need lithium. There's not enough. We're going to lose the AI race, and whoever loses the AI race loses hegemony if they had it.
And here is where we see the real motivation of going to war with Venezuela, because the most likely outcome of what happens if we do is not that we spread freedom and democracy, because the U.S. military isn't capable of doing that. So if we did it, the average position of your typical Venezuelan will almost unquestionably get worse. But if that's not the point, and the point is only to secure certain strategic locations, which the U.S. military actually is very good at, then, mission accomplished.
A Bush reference.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the one angle to get the Christian right, the conservative angle. Well, they're dealing drugs. Okay. Well, and then outside of that, well, they're mean to their women. Oh, they're making kids work in the mines. And there's a few of those things. There's something for every demographic. There's a few things that have been repeated over the last 100 years that will mobilize 2/3 to 3/4 of our voting bloc to go, yeah, screw those guys. Let's go get them.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about that too, with like the propaganda machine, and like you can easily like sway it to be like, when you have such polarized demographic, it's like a tinderbox where it's like all you need is be like, oh, they hate gay people, and it's like half the country is for them. Or it's like, oh, like they hate, or they're dealing drugs, and it's like the other half of the country, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Just like you can just
they're a bunch of drug dealing homophobes.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got the whole nation, or none of us. I don't know how that works.
They said Canadian beer sucks.
This sounds like a South Park episode in the making. Like
that was the whole theme of the movie Canadian Bacon from the 90s.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Canadian Bacon. That's
Wait, it's about the Mounties.
What, Canadian Bacon?
I think I know about that. Then.
No, they started a war because they were at a hockey game, and he was like, "This beer sucks."
Oh, you missed my joke.
Oh.
Yeah, missed your joke. It may have been too smart for everybody on this show.
Yeah,
probably.
All right, y'all. Anybody got any final words on Venezuela before we move on?
I kept laughing every time you.
Just a fun fact. I remember hearing this is pre-pandemic. I think it was 2018, 2019. At one time, because it was right before, Hugo Chavez was on his deathbed. Maduro hadn't fully taken over yet. The currency in World of Warcraft, the online MMORPG, my original gaming addiction, the money in that game was worth more than the Venezuelan peso.
Wow! Like collectively, like all of
you could buy more with World of Warcraft money than you could.
Relative. Okay,
Venezuela.
Gotcha.
What is it? A peso or a dollar? Whatever it is, whatever the Venezuelan currency was, World of Warcraft money in an American video game was worth more than their currency.
Wow. Oh,
yeah,
that's crazy. That's awesome. I like
interesting.
That.
Is it funny or sad? I don't know.
Both.
It's both. Yeah, it's definitely both for sure. All right, we're going to move on. Banks messed with Bitcoin is our next topic. Here you go. So, crypto firms were debanked by major U.S. banks, according to a new OCC report. Regulators say banks unfairly restricted services to lawful crypto businesses. This investigation could lead to federal action against discriminatory banking. Yeah, and so I've been talking about this for quite a while. There was a point in time where the only way I had figured out at the time to buy Bitcoin was to wire cash to like a company like Swan, okay, who is a dadgum. They're basically a Bitcoin buying company, and they why can I not think of what is Coinbase? What is the dadgum name for it?
A platform.
Platform is a word, yeah, but that's not the specific one. Exchange.
Exchange.
Hey, exchange.
Get my money into an exchange was to wire it, especially larger amounts of money if I wanted to do like 10 grand or whatever. And so when I would wire 10 grand to the local bank to buy my truck, let's say, it would get there, no questions asked. It would get there 2 days later, no problems. I mean, 2 days later is still a long time, but 2 days later, no problems, no questions asked. There was nothing. But every single time I tried to wire money to Swan Bitcoin, they would cancel the transaction the first time. And then the second time, they would put a halt on it and call me and then they would not get off the phone until I told them what I was buying and what I was going to use with what I was buying.
That's insane.
It must have been in excess of $10,000.
It was, I mean, sometimes it was 5, sometimes it was 20.
There you go. The 20 was the red flag. Anything north of 10,
dude,
that's
happened every time.
That's that Dodd-Frank stuff, though. That's the Dodd-Frank stuff. It's that KYC. Like they got to
But Steven, that's the thing. Like I wouldn't get a call if it was over 10 grand for anything else.
And that's what you're saying.
Well, I think, and I'm not saying it's definitely this, but just to put my devil's advocate hat on, I think there is a potentially legitimate reason, which is fraud prevention, which is that you've got a lot of grandmas that are very easily tricked by scammers into purchasing large amounts of Bitcoin and then transferring it somewhere that they can't get it back.
Okay,
so
you can stop right there, because after the first time that happened, I said, put a note on my account that to never make me go through this again.
You seriously expect them to do that? There are people that work at a bank.
Yeah.
They need to do their dadgum job, man. Like,
I expect them to do that.
This is my money, and the amount of questioning. I mean, each time they had to go get their supervisor and then their supervisor, because I would flat out refuse to tell them what the money was going to. It took hours long phone calls with these goobers, and it turns out they were debanking certain crypto organizations. And I would bet, I don't know if Swan is on the list, but I would bet that they are. It happened. This is why I quit using Capital One. Like I ended my relationship with Capital One, because it happened every single time with them.
Did you make the jump to Capital Two? I hear that.
Yeah. No, I just went on a full Bitcoin standard, so I just get paid in Bitcoin now. So
nice. That too. I went through that with Kraken. So this was in the wake of Mount Gox and all that kind of stuff. Kraken was like, hey, because then we passed some regulations. What was it? Gosh, 2016, 2017, something like that. And that's when Kraken was like, nope, I'm out. You're American. Screw you. And Binance was like, hey, we can still work together.
They had a separate American site.
yes. Because it was like every 6 months. It was like it's like that Adam Sandler movie, 50 First Dates, when he has like that recap for his wife that she watches every morning. And it's like, this happens and this happens. Snoop Dogg quit smoking weed. This happens. Snoop Dogg is smoking weed again. It was like, well, it's like, Binance not taking U.S. customers. Binance taking U.S. customers again. And then, then we passed this law. Binance not taking U.S. customers. And for the longest time, they were like, okay, if we've already let you in and you have money on our exchange, we'll still do business with you, but we're not taking any more new U.S. dollar transactions from America.
Yeah.
And that was, I think when they drew that line in the sand, what was that, 2018-ish, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And I don't think they've looked back. And, of course, when I wanted to rip myself off of Shiba Inu, I had to find a way to go through Binance to do that.
Yeah.
Because I had an existing Binance account. And I was like, oh, sweet.
Dude, they made it so difficult to do certain things for a while. Like it was a huge problem. So Zane, I'm interested in your take on, as libertarians, these organizations are private companies and they can do what they want. But the issue that I'm talking about is more of a regulatory thing from the government, not necessarily the company themselves. So
the
what are your thoughts on
certain standards? Yes.
So what are your thoughts on the regulation versus this company can do what they want, or are they just complying with their regulations?
Yeah, well, I think two things can be true. I don't like government regulations, but also I can criticize you for doing something that's I think should be legal.
Yeah.
Like I know that Michael Malice has used this example a lot, where if I go to a restaurant and they serve me cold food, my response isn't, I can't believe this happened to me. The government needs to outlaw serving cold food at restaurants. But also my reaction to it isn't going to be, well, it's a private company. They can serve me cold food if they want to.
Right.
My reaction is going to be, wow, I'm
TCBY.
probably never going to this restaurant again because of their poor food service.
I'd say stop ordering gazpacho because it's a stupid food,
I mean, you're not wrong about that. What a stupid soup that is.
That's one of the most useless food items I think I've ever had.
I feel like that was like something super
for air conditioning,
poor people. like made it and then like somehow passed it off as some fancy soup later on.
Poor people, as in I can't afford a oven. Like
yeah. Like I don't know how to make fire with sticks.
Right. Yeah. That poor. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. I like a lot of food. I don't like gazpacho.
No, it's terrible. I had it once and I'll never have it again.
I'm sorry. I have almost nothing to contribute to the Bitcoin. Like when you were talking about Kraken, I was like, I think rum and calamari. That's what when you say Kraken, that's what I think. You know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Kraken was one of the.
Has really annoyed me recently because it's done the same thing that Rocket Mortgage does, which is create fake podcasts and then set them out as ads. So you'll see this ad for Kraken, and they'll pretend that it's like a legitimate podcast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It really goes to show how lacking in credibility the legacy media is, where companies feel like in order for this ad to have any credibility, we have to pretend that it's a podcast.
Yeah, dude, they definitely do that. So does Rocket Mortgage.
That's a good point. I've seen a lot of things where they put the red curtain behind them to look like they were a guest on Joe Rogan or something, and but they never put like a CNN banner underneath them. Like no one gives a shit. That's actually hilarious,
dude. If I come across an ad of something that looks interesting right when the ad pops up, but then somebody's on screen who never was on Rogan, but it looks like they're on Rogan, I will never buy your product. Ever.
Oh no, it's the lab coat and the stethoscope of today. Like buy this dog food. I'm in a lab coat, you know.
Oh yeah, that was
everyone that's ever been on Joe Rogan needs to get letters after their name. Like Dave Smith's JRE.
Yeah, there you go. Or JRE, 230, something like that. You know?
Oh, the episode number. Yeah.
Whatever episode you were on.
Yeah,
except for the repeats.
Yeah, seriously.
Also, I apologize to some crack that I shit all over gazpacho.
No, don't apologize. You stand up for what you believe in on this show, Alden.
It's just a preference. I just don't get cold soup, but
Well, yeah, we're allowed to have opinions.
I like hot soup and cold cocktails. I don't know. Call me crazy.
I mean, I bet you like a hot toddy.
I do like a hot toddy. That is fair.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Zach is talking about. He's seen ads that cut in Rogan, just going, "Whoa."
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. Like if it's like a testosterone booster, or creatine, or like, oh god, methylene blue gummies.
Oh, I was gonna joke and say methylene. You said methylene.
Methylene blue. Yeah, I've seen that one a lot, Steven. I don't know why. That one's popping up all the time.
And it's Joe Rogan go, oh wow. There's only one guy that's talked about it on his show. And it was Mel Gibson.
Of course.
So that's plenty of credibility in that product.
Yeah. Well, I think RFK did mention it too. When he had RFK on. But
interesting.
I think Mel Gibson did more of like the actual commercial bit. Yeah.
Well, Alden, this might bring you into the Bitcoin conversation a little more. This is off topic from the banks messing with Bitcoin. It's more of the CIA possibly messing with Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Was Bitcoin created by the CIA, or is it just a psyop to get us used to spending digital money? Well, I know Tucker Carlson's a bit concerned about Bitcoin being created by the CIA. And really, loosely translated, Satoshi Nakamoto means wise origin, central intelligence, which could be a fun clue. But I'm here to tell you, it's a guy playing ping pong, that it doesn't matter and that you don't have to trust anybody because Bitcoin is open source. That means anybody can take a look at the code and verify that there's no backdoors. And maybe it was a CIA origin, but it doesn't matter anymore because it's open source. And now Bitcoin has achieved a level of decentralization across the world. There's everybody, all their incentives are aligned to keep this thing moving and working. And then you look at money today, it's already just beep, scan. We had to learn how to use the banking system today, account numbers, routing numbers. Money's already digital. So we have two worlds. We're going to two worlds. One, Bitcoin. Decentralized money, nobody controls it. We know the supply cap of 21 million. Two, suit coin. People in suits with their own agendas keep printing money. And you got to win the lottery of where you're born in order to have a fair chance at this world. So I know which way I'm going. You do you.
There you go. The guy was he was obviously not born in Liechtenstein.
What? Explain that joke.
To live in Liechtenstein, you have to have $1 million in the bank.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm too poor to even know this reference.
Right. So on that guy's point, though, if I were Jerome Powell and I found out that Bitcoin was a CIA project, I would be like, what the heck, dude? Why are you doing this to us? Because it would essentially be one part of the government completely delegitimizing another part of the same government.
I mean, I've asked this question before as just someone who doesn't trust anything and also, though, doesn't know a ton about it, like soup coin. But
Jerry Seinfeld has entered the chat.
Yeah. But just with the amount of money that's like either unaccounted for, we don't know who possesses it, and with the CIA and the American just military industrial complex like has just some of the best computers. Like, I mean, I imagine the best computers on earth, and the ability to mine it. And if you were to create something and get enough of it early on, and then have it as it increases in value and blah blah blah, and then be able to use it in shady ways if you so chose, like, it would make sense to me. I don't know. I can see the world where that is the case, but I agree with this guy where it's like, as long as it truly is open source and truly has its benefits, then it's like it's helping. It's like the rising tide that lifts all boats kind of things. Like, it helps the CIA and it helps me, like, whatever. Like, at this point, I'm not saying that I think it was, but I think it could have been. And
so that's not a bad thought.
It also has an anonymous creator. Like, I'm sorry, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't remember you bringing that exact point up before. So that's an interesting one where let's just say, for instance, the CIA did create it, and Satoshi Nakamoto has more coins than anybody in their wallet. So whoever invented it has the majority of the coins that are out there. I think it's like 50%, maybe less, maybe a little bit less. But whoever that person is or group of people are going to be wealthier than any human that's ever existed by the time Bitcoin's made its run to the top.
And if they're not a person, if they're an entity, they have just the most power of any entity. Like,
and so it's interesting because in your scenario, we would be helping to fund horrible things that the CIA would be doing.
Oh, we think it gets better. Yeah.
But also at some point the CIA will run out of that Bitcoin, and it will be a type of currency that would ultimately stabilize the economy of the world. So it's an interesting dilemma if the CIA is the one holding on to that 50% of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think it's 50%. I think it's less than 50%, because I think if you had full dominance,
50%, that sounds like Ripple.
Yeah, no, it's not 50.
It would be a lot.
Let me look it up real quick.
Buying power, regardless, but for whoever started it, if you were able to get it when it was like worth, I don't know, a penny or whatever, per Bitcoin or whatever at one point.
Yeah, I was listening to Daniel Pena on I think he was on the PBD podcast recently, and that was. He was talking about, he doesn't recommend Bitcoin, but he knows people that have made a lot of money on it. He's got a little bit in it, but it's not like as an investment strategy. And he was like, by the way, he's like, if you think some random Japanese guy in a cave created that, that's like he's like, that's the best hand job tale in history right there.
Who says a cave? I thought more like a room with a computer.
I don't know where the cave came from, but I thought of that. It's like the line from Iron Man where he's like, Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave.
Yeah.
It's Satoshi Nakamoto owns 1.1 million Bitcoin.
God, that's a lot though.
Yeah, it's 10%.
But if it's the CIA, if it is, and I'm not saying that it is, it wouldn't just have to be that one account. They would have many accounts that would be, related at the start or whatever that would happen.
Kind of. Yes and no. Because at some point, a bunch of those early accounts, people figured out who they were. And so it would be and you can watch to see if the money from that original account ever moves. And so far it hasn't ever moved at all. There was some guy who had from like 2010 or 2009, back when Bitcoin first launched. He had it in his wallet since that day. It was thousands and thousands of Bitcoin.
Christ.
And about a month ago, he moved it. And he did it all at once without a test move or anything. He just moved it to a different wallet, and it was like $100 and something million of Bitcoin.
Yeah, they transferred it to a cold wallet.
Yeah.
He was like,
that made international news. It was like one of the original whales just took their Bitcoin out of circulation.
I found some USB
I was like,
in
well,
my
in
shoebox.
circulation. It was sitting there anyways. Like,
yeah.
So how many Bitcoin did you say Satoshi has?
1.1
million.
So 5%.
Yeah. So at a valuation of $80,000 per Bitcoin, we're talking about $88 billion, which is a lot of money to have. But if we're concerned that maybe it's the CIA, $88 billion is not like an earth-shattering amount of money when you consider how large the U.S. government is.
Lose $2.3 trillion a day.
But $88 billion is enough to buy Time Warner Discovery.
We're
saying it hasn't moved around a lot or whatever. They could just be using taxpayer money to do dirty work for now and holding on to it for fucking later when it's worth a lot more. I don't know.
Well, but they could do that without having invented it.
That's true too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
because then they're just a Bitcoin investor at that point.
That's fair.
So just to expand that out a little bit, Zane, like, yes, that the number $80,000 per Bitcoin, that first of all, that's a low number right now. I don't think it'll ever go that low again, ever. But the way I see it, I fully believe Bitcoin will be at $3 million in 15 years. And if that's the case, then they would then own north of $3 trillion, which is a substantial budget, even for the CIA. Like, it's not endless money for the CIA, but it is a lot. Like, you know, we put in about $1 trillion to our military budget each year. So it would allow whoever owns that to basically do whatever they want forever. It doesn't matter if it's an organization or a person.
But my point is that if that's what you're concerned about, then it's the question of whether or not the CIA invented Bitcoin is irrelevant. Because if they, like you, believe that it has massive upside investment potential, then they could just buy it and do the exact same thing that you're describing.
Very true.
I will also point out that if Bitcoin does go to that absolutely insanely high valuation, then it's not only the CIA that's going to be a lot wealthier. It's also a lot of other people as well.
Yeah.
So,
the
only way I think it can get to that kind of insane valuation is if, one, the U.S. government hyperinflates the dollar, in which case $5 billion quadrillion dollars, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it won't be able to buy any more real resources than $88 billion does now. So it's not any more control over real resources, or we'll have materially become so wealthy that even if the CIA has a lot more resources at its disposal, everybody else does too.
Yeah.
That was, I remember a substitute teacher I had in high school history class, and he was actually a retired Army colonel, Colonel Warren. He looked like Don Knotts too. It was really cool. So he was talking about, after the fall of the wall, he went and talked to one of the German officers, and he found some money on the ground. And he thought it was like a 10,000 Deutschmark bill or something like that. He thought it was a lot, and he's like, "Oh man, hey, what can I get with this?" And he's like,
"Gum.
This you can buy one egg."
And higher.
Yeah, and that's I think by the time Bitcoin hits $3 million, we're looking at $150 gallons of milk, stuff like that.
Yeah, you could be right about that. Zach asked a question. What do you do when it hits $1 million or more? Spend it? Will there be a way to generate cash flow by holding it? Yeah, so I think Bitcoin's kind of at a crossroads at this point. And at this point, meaning for the next couple decades, I think it's going to be something where people will either use it as solely a store of value and use it as collateral, or they'll actually start transacting in it. I think this idea that it's some type of stock type deal to get, to get wealthy on overnight is going to go down the drain. I don't think that's going to be, that's not a long-term play with Bitcoin. And so I think, yes, like I already got, I told my sob story on here about the Sovereign app and all that stuff. So there will absolutely be a way to collateralize your Bitcoin so that you can spend from it without actually spending the Bitcoin itself. And those kinds of things are already popping up everywhere, which is a really good sign, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that'd be a good time to be, the third party escrow holder, whatever, so yes. if you have a privately backed loan where it's like, hey, I'm about to loan you, I don't know, 50 grand to start your business, something like that. And I'm going to put it up in the form of, half a Bitcoin. And the guy's like, hey, I'll hold half a Bitcoin, but instead of paying interest on the loan, you're just going to pay me 5% to hold it until it's paid back.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they aggregate Bitcoin over time, and then they become the loan holders. They're, the people making the loans. Yep.
So this brings us to our next question for President Predicto, which Stephen wasn't here for the first question.
Is that what that sound was?
Yeah, it was me turning it on.
I was like, who's sharpening a sword on a stone over there? That was weird.
Will Mr. Trump, will Bitcoin reach $3 million?
Yes, but let's see what happens.
You heard it from him. Yes, Bitcoin will reach $3 million.
That's the best.
All right, y'all. Let's move on. Let's go watch a drunkard, shall we?
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, my teeth are blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
All right. Welcome to Drunkard of the Week, the part of the show where we show somebody doing or saying something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not. We have a repeat this week. She's been a drunkard once, and she'll be a drunkard again.
This past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity, and I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket. But at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring forth people? Exactly. And so it's like, if you do the no tax thing for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really exactly.
They may want those checks like they got
exactly.
I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
All right, so that's Representative Jasmine Crockett talking again.
I identify as a black man, and I agree with not paying taxes.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny that she actually is so close to making a good argument, but just for all the wrong reasons, and ultimately concludes the exact wrong thing.
So I saw an ad the other day around Black Friday for like some of the stuff that's coming out at Christmas. I don't know if they're selling this at Costco or what, but it's the Kraft Mac 4K TV. What? And it comes in a giant 75-inch TV box, and it's full of Kraft Mac and cheese boxes. And they're saying 4K because there's at least 4,000 noodles inside there.
What?
I think she's the type of person that would buy that.
I actually have to say I didn't think this clip was that bad. I mean,
I knew you were going to say that.
It was bad, but I don't think it was that bad because she's approximating some reasonably good points, and then as Jake says, she doesn't quite cross the finish line. But even such eminent lights as Milton Friedman have at one time proposed a negative income tax as a replacement for welfare. So the problem is, if you're gonna stop taxing Black people, which I think that taxation is theft, so I don't want people to have to pay taxes. But if you're gonna stop taxing Black people, then your options are either to reduce spending, which they're obviously not going to do, increase taxation on non-Black people, which cancels out all of the libertarian benefit that you would get from not taxing Black people, or run the money printer even more, which I would argue actually disproportionately would hurt Black people more than not taxing them would help them.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good solution for anybody. And yeah, Zane, it's not that she didn't come to the right conclusion. It's that I think she's physically incapable of coming to the right conclusion. Like we've showcased her intellectual prowess multiple times on this show, and the fact that she represents anyone is astounding. I don't know. Just go search her dumbest moments, and you're gonna be befuddled by the end of it. Like it's
that's how I feel about.
Yeah. Cool story though. I live down here in Georgia, and we have Hank Johnson, who literally thought Guam was going to capsize with the amount of troops we were sending to it.
The island?
Yes, we've aired that video before.
I was like, is there a ship called the USS Guam or something? Or is
dude, I think he was even on the Armed Services Committee somehow, and he's grilling one of the Joint Chiefs at the Pentagon, and then he's like, I'm just concerned that we keep sending these boats and all these people that the island might actually capsize.
What?
And this and this Army general, this poor man, in an Army uniform, storied career, combat veteran, and he's got to look at that and talk to him respectfully.
Don Lemon did a black hole swallow an airplane. That level is stupid.
Oh yeah, no.
He's on the Armed Services Committee, not the Geology Committee.
Right. Well, but then he was also wondering which astronauts put the American flag on Mars.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah,
because the moon landing was fake.
The Mars landing was real fake, though.
Yeah.
Y'all, before we move on to processed poison, I actually have to go back for just a second. The Fed cut interest rates again.
Gang.
Yesterday, which was interesting, but it led me to this little chestnut.
What's it at now? The interest rate?
I don't know.
I think the target Fed funds rate is now between 3.5 and 3.75.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
which means you'll get a 5% mortgage if you got a 700 credit score.
Yeah. This is a 1986 receipt from Burger King where somebody got 3 Whoppers, 2 fries, and 2 shakes for $8.39.
Nice.
Like, that's insane, man. I ordered 2 things from Taco Bell the other day, and it was $12.
That was crazy, honestly.
And you had to order through an AI menu.
Oh my god!
And you got to pay for extra toilet paper when you get home, so you're really out even more.
We don't get toilet paper, Alden. Come on.
Montana does it different. We use rocks.
There you go. No, he bought a bidet with Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, we only have bidets.
Wait, is that how that works? Like you don't do anything? I thought it was like where you clean the finish. Like
I still get a dab dry. I can't just get up and walk away from that.
Oh no, it's not getting up and walking away. If you get the super fancy one, it dries you.
You blow dry your
with
butthole?
Nice warm air.
See, I thought I was middle class this whole time.
Yeah.
And here you are, showing me the next level.
Oh, it's a delight. I highly recommend it to everybody.
So compared to you, we're all basically just monkeys throwing our feces around.
I literally thought you were until I met you in person.
And that didn't confirm it?
Yeah, I was going to say, and that answered nothing. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to this is a story that Stephen put in the Discord this week. So, Stephen, I'm going to have you talk about it. San Francisco files landmark lawsuit comparing ultra-processed food companies to big tobacco.
I knew it was only a matter of time, right? So the Maha movement gets in there, RFK gets in there, some of the stuff that's coming from the top down, from the federal level of, hey, this stuff is toxic. We've got the studies, we've got this, we've got that. Because keep in mind, before RFK got into this, he was a high profile lawyer and he prosecuted. Yeah, well, it was EPA, but he was, what got him political attention with Trump. And I've talked about this before. So 2019, fourth quarter 2019, he had a case against the HHS, go all the way up to Supreme Court. And this is kind of unrelated, but still adjacent. So when Reagan gave the vaccine companies political immunity or legal immunity for any kind of side effects, the caveat to that was that every 2 years they had to do a safety and efficacy study, and they had to send their representatives to Congress to testify before Congress and present their findings and review these things. And as such, Congress would keep them immune from any legal battles. So he sends FOIA request after FOIA request after FOIA request. Meanwhile, these documentaries are coming out. Del Bigtree's teaming up with him. They're going around the country, talking to these mothers of autistic children, fathers of autistic children, parents of kids that have died, all that kind of stuff. Just they're aggregating their own data because HHS is not doing it. And then finally, the case goes to Supreme Court, and I think it was Kathleen Sebelius was the HHS secretary at the time. All the way to the Supreme Court, RFK versus HHS. They go up there, they get her on the stand, and he says, hey, judge looks over, says, hey, why have you not provided these records? I haven't provided these records because they don't exist. And so then he's like, well, then why do you have immunity? So when he got in, because I was following that closely because, 90 days later, global pandemic, lo and behold.
Right.
I knew when he got in, something like that was going to happen because he's not going in, you don't just get in there and say, hey guys, make the healthy version. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to make the healthy version. No, there's a toppling. The Tower of Babylon does not just fall in its own footprint. It slams over and takes out a whole city in the process. Right. And that's what's going to happen this isn't going to be a controlled demolition where this thing collapses in its own footprint. This is going to be, a shot to the jugular. This thing's going to flail and run through the woods and drag a blood trail. And this is going to be part of it. And so, as the studies come out and they're being released at the federal level, now the stuff like the people that would give you the immunity, the ones that you could have, should have, and would have teamed up with are now the ones going, hey, I got the data. It says you're acting in a malicious manner and you've known it for a long time.
Yeah.
And so now, how quickly can they declare bankruptcy? I don't know. Kudos to PepsiCo, because Doritos came out first and they were like, hey, we're coming out. And that's because RFK gave the ultimatum. We saw the news. I think we've even shared the story here. He said, You have until the end of 2025 to figure out how to retool your factories. You already make it for the Europeans. You already make it for the Canadians. You already make it for every other country on the planet.
Point.
From your manufacturing facilities in the United States, you have until the end of the year to figure out how to make it for the Americans. And this is it. The ones that are still dragging their feet, you're going to see, hey, I've got the data. It's nasty. It is. Mm-hmm. And I know it is because the government was on your side to implement this crap to begin with.
And I know that I know that it is.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what's going on. And so, Doritos, thank God, made the pivot. And they were like, hey, your nacho cheese flavor, your coveted Cool Ranch nacho cheese flavors are not going to be fluorescent colors anymore. Everyone's like, really? That's the only detriment to you not giving me autism? Sweet, let's do that. Now,
yeah. I have to say, if Doritos actually get quote unquote healthier, that is super dangerous for me.
Right, man.
I do
oh
not.
My God, the salsa verde. Oh, I can't. Like, it's tough, bro. I've lost 40 pounds this year, and I did it by not eating potato chips.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, well, and drinking less beer. Didn't totally do away with it. I mean,
so is
working
this
out's a big part of it
lawsuit
too.
more about like food dyes and specific additives and things like that?
Absolutely, it is. Yes,
Okay, so
because
it's not about...
the way some of these corporations are making their announcement that they're removing these ingredients, they're saying, "Hey, we've determined that this has this causes that, and we're taking it out." Now, Doritos got ahead of the curve because Doritos said, "Hey, you spoke, we listened. We're removing our petroleum-based dyes." They didn't say, "Hey, sorry about your autism." They just said, "Hey, we're removing your petroleum-based dyes based on popular demand." Cool.
Yeah,
that is the angle to take. And if you do not take that, let's say the next, 3 weeks, they're coming for your neck.
So the companies are Kraft Heinz, Mondelez, which I don't know that one.
Mondelez is a major, yeah.
Mondelez, okay. Post, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, General Mills, Nestle, Kellanova. What is Kellanova?
Oh, I don't know that one.
I'll look it up.
Kellogg, Mars, and ConAgra. Yeah. So those are the 10. They argue that it's very clear a link between ultra-processed food and chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, heart disease, kidney disease, colorectal cancer, Crohn's disease, and depression.
So they don't mention autism in this.
I mean, that's kind of my joke, but I mean, it's...
Well, I've heard. I haven't looked into it extensively, but I've heard that people draw on the connection with things like food dyes.
Oh, I know. My son is my oldest one is 9. Definitely ADHD. I didn't really believe in that, but like his neurons are firing in a much different array than mine do. I can tell you that.
I'm here to tell you.
Have you ever met Alden?
Yeah. Right. But I mean, you take him to a birthday party and you let him get a couple handfuls of the Cheeto puffs with the orange dust on them. Oh, dude, that kid can't focus on squat for the next 18 hours.
Yeah. Yep.
It's wild.
Zach says red is supposed to cause behavior issues. And
it's
just
funny that if based on the light
general,
spectrum and like the wavelength of the colors is like energetically like what people have seen behavior like correlations, which is kind of wild. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like red being, the opposite end of the spectrum of like the blue color, which whatever. But I thought that was interesting. Again, I haven't looked into this extensively, but I didn't.
But the Cheeto dust is. I mean, just talk to people that have kids, preteen age, and ask them if they've noticed a difference in the Cheeto dust. I mean, like that's
dude. I used to eat Doritos nacho cheese on every single road trip, and then I stopped for about 2 years, and I tried it again one time. I immediately got a headache, like immediate. It was so fast that I got a headache and felt like crap. It was crazy. Yeah, this was like a year ago.
So when you first mentioned this with like the processed poison topic or whatever, I didn't know if this was going to be specifically like food dye and additives and things like that, or if it was just because we were comparing it to tobacco products of the day and lawsuits.
Well, and so what they're doing there, because now it's also coming out and it's been mainstreamed over the last, I would say, decade or so, thanks to folks like, RFK, Del Bigtree, Vani Hari, the food babe, Dr. Mokola. Vani Hari is awesome. Because she was the one that revealed to me. So the azodicarbonamide that was in the Subway hoagie rolls.
Oh, the yoga mat chemical?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she was top 5 of the people pushing that one on a national level.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then
Subway's still going strong. I don't understand it. That place is
right. I'm look if the 10-inch foot
be like I eat Subway every day.
If the 10-inch foot long doesn't do you in, I don't know what will. To me, that's just basic math right there.
Look, it's the Subway foot.
right.
Foot asterisk long, yeah.
So they do get into that, the ultra processed angle, because Vani Hari was one of those talking about Chick-fil-A. Oh, Chick-fil-A is the fastest growing fast food company in the country. But if you see the ingredients list of what goes into just their buns, why does a bun have 35 ingredients? You know, when was the last time you made bread? I did a couple of weeks ago. It takes 3 ingredients, bro.
Yeah,
You
3
feel the
ingredients.
flour, man, yeah.
Dude, the stuff they put their chicken in is insane. I feel like crap every time I eat there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Kevin Hart even has a bit about their spicy sandwich in his latest stand-up.
Really? I mean, it is good. Let's be real.
No,
their spicy sandwich is amazing.
It tastes.
Oh yeah,
good, but...
yeah. No, he's just it just shoots out the back, and he's like, how has it reassembled itself? Because I chewed that thing. Where did the chunks come from? But the ultra processed foods, that's what they're talking. So at companies like Sonomics, they actually use aborted fetal cells to test certain demographics to make their ingredients more addictive. And there was a Supreme Court ruling. Clarence Thomas, our conservative hero on the bench, ruled in their favor, saying that they could use the aborted fetal cells to make their food products more addictive.
That's fucked up. So, but that's what you basically just said there. That was going to be my angle here. And my question was like designing something to be addictive.
Yes, and they have the data now that you guys they have labs that are designed to hey, the black folks are really going to love this one. They actually do that.
Demographic based, targeted per even smaller demographics and things like that. Because I knew this. Go ahead.
Sorry. I didn't want to go too far down this rabbit hole today because I want to actually touch on this or cover this subject more fully. As the first thing one day where we especially once this lawsuit goes a little deeper. So I liked that Steven put it in the chat and I wanted it to be on our radar.
Well, let me pose my
yes, please
what
do.
Was been my question for a minute, so is because if the thing is more designing it to be addictive in general, there's the ultra processed side, but there's a science to it that can even just come down to just how much sugar, per dilution level or whatever. Because the soda companies have done this back in the day. They were literally find out how much sugar makes someone nauseous and then dial it back one. And that
no, they add phosphoric acid to reduce your gag reflex.
Oh shit! Okay, well that's a whole other level.
Yeah, so a can of Coke is 12 teaspoons of sugar. Eat 12 teaspoons of sugar, you'll vomit.
Ugh, yeah, exactly. Though, okay, so it's it's going even beyond just that. Then at this point,
yeah.
But so because there's a combination of the sugars or carbs and salts and oils and different things that in a certain ratio, it just triggers the brain in all different kinds of just dopamine ways. In terms of if you were just an animal in the wild and you were ooh, ah, and I found a fucking apple or whatever, and it gives you, and then you're finding something that's the mega super fucking apple. And it's just lighten up your brain. It's the food is truly a drug. We just don't classify it as a drug, but by all accounts, it's the same goddamn thing as far as the brain is concerned. Addiction is just related to dopamine and serotonin.
But by all means, let's celebrate the slaughter of some guys driving a submarine. Just because what they drive,
right?
Actually looks like drugs,
right? The powdery stuff.
I don't know. Sugar and cocaine look very similar to me.
That's what, yeah. That's right? But anyway,
look, it's the fast acting Coke and the slow acting Coke.
Yeah. There we go. Alden,
is that so? Are we attacking? Because when we get into laws and stuff, it gets specific. So I guess basically to pose this for our deeper dive later.
Yeah.
Are you because GMO could be just someone being oh, I'm going to cross that pea plant with this pea plant and just rub the fucking stamen on the whatever. I don't know how people fucking cross plants with the pollen and shit or whatever. But you know what I mean? Where it's we're not really doing anything other than breeding it. But technically,
there's selective crossbreeding, but then there's lab under a microscope,
CRISPR shit, right?
CRISPR gene editing,
yeah.
And that's the stuff that's the super addictive. I know I'm gonna get diabetes, but I gotta have it.
But that's what I'm saying is where do we draw the line? Where it's how much are we allowed to research or modify food and things like that? And I don't want to overly defend it because there's some nasty stuff going on with this.
You're right, man. That's actually been a huge libertarian debate online since RFK got this position. Is should libertarians back the banning of red food dyes,
Right.
stuff like that. And so
Yeah.
there's some interesting points, and I do think that should be a topic we discuss.
I do like this to come back to for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, and then just like airing an article to Venezuela with our B-52 saying, "Hey, coming at your neck," we'll see you tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow.
Same thing. RFK, he doesn't have to ban anything. All he's got to do is just release the data and say, "Hey, by the way, NHS also had this data."
Well, and that would be my preferred.
And they turned a blind eye because we had this thing called generally recognized as safe. All the stuff under the GRAS designation, which, by the way, Marty McCary, the FDA commissioner, he's been doing a podcast tour. He's talking about they're about to phase that out.
And I'm assuming that only works in this country because, like what we were saying earlier, is like if you're going to send something to Europe or Canada, it's got to have a different formula because they don't recognize some of these things as safe or whatever. And it is interesting that
should they be able to ban dog shit in food?
Is that a thing?
I
hope it's
I
not
hope
a real
not.
thing.
All right. Well, yeah, we are gonna go into this topic in more depth at a later time. But for now,
What was that? I was gonna go get a drink, and then that was very different.
That was great.
All right,
It's the trivia fanfare.
Welcome to the new trivia intro, y'all.
All right, well now I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Welcome to another week of Libations Trivia. We're glad to have you. As usual, we have trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1 is 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2 is 6 questions, 2 points each. And round 3 is 4 questions, 3 points each. If you are in the live audience, please leave a comment with your answer, and I will accept the first audience answer that's not obviously a joke as the audience answer. For tonight's categories, we've got round 1. I've got some holiday haikus for you. Round 2 is 2025 in review. And round 3, final verses of Christmas carols.
Oh boy. I don't have a paper tonight, y'all. I was in a bit of a rush, so I'm just going to be mouthing my answers.
We get it. You don't carry paper with you. You only use bidets.
That's hilarious. Did you guys know that you can get cask strength rum?
What?
It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Rum's not my
round
favorite,
1.
You're not
Holiday
drinking
haikus.
Yes.
Oh God.
Question 1. Liturgical time, the few weeks before Christmas, not just calendars.
Calling me first every time, Zane, since I don't have anything to write with.
Alrighty.
Oh, that makes sense.
Jake.
You can just write it in your head.
Advent.
Alden.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Steven.
Advent.
The audience also says Advent. The Christmas season technically does not start until Christmas Day. Right now we are in Advent.
Ah.
Yes.
That's why.
And you're wrong. The Christmas season started the day after Thanksgiving.
The day after Halloween.
I was going to say, if you go by the department stores, it's like the day before Halloween. My God.
Yeah, they're like, whoa,
No,
leave your lights up. Leave
That's
your lights up.
Advent. That's Advent.
Yeah.
Then right after Thanksgiving, we're in Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Question 2. The USPS is used to prove Santa real in this classic film.
I guess go ahead.
Jake.
Is it Miracle on 34th Street?
Alden.
That's what I said too.
Steven.
Polar Express.
Oh.
Dadgummit.
Honestly.
The audience unfortunately says a Miracle on 24th. Oh, they corrected it. because it's Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, okay. When Steven said the Polar Express, I was like, well, that makes so much sense. I feel like an idiot.
Well, yeah. Didn't Tom Hanks have that? He had that bird on his head. I thought. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, he's a conductor.
Also, just keep in mind, it said classic, not crap Christmas film.
Oh, fair.
It's a classic book. Classic book.
All right.
All right. Question 3. English dessert with pastry, dried fruit, and spices, a Christmas staple.
Apparently not.
Definitely
Well, you're not
not
English, so you wouldn't know.
Evidently not.
Go ahead, I guess.
Alden. Oh, wait, Jake, sorry.
I'm just going to say Turkish delight.
No. Alden.
Is this figgy pudding? I have no idea.
Steven.
I'm just saying tart pastry.
Tart pastry.
Audience also says figgy pudding, which was the closest that anyone said, but this is mince pie.
Oh,
Mince
well,
pie, yeah.
that's just a thing.
It's just a thing.
I thought there was like a specific Christmas thing.
It is.
There was the other thing I was gonna say was sugar plums, because I don't fucking know what the hell that is, but like the visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. I'm like, what the fuck are sugar plums? I don't fucking know. Like, anyway,
sugar plum.
Question 4. Floral festival to celebrate the new year in Pasadena.
Floral festival.
I think I know this one.
In Pasadena.
How the hell do you spell this?
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Rose Parade.
Alden.
Poinsettia Day? I don't know.
Steven.
Break out your Birkenstocks. We're going to the Lily Fair.
I thought when you said Birkenstocks and I saw an L, I thought you were gonna say Leslie Fair, but
Well, yeah, Lilith Fair, you know.
oh yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, one of you has it because it is the Rose Parade.
Oh.
Oh, I love it when Nick's not on here. This is great. I actually have a shot.
Question 5. Whoville resident awoken by the Grinch while he steals her presents.
Go ahead.
Jake.
Cindy Lou.
Alden.
Cindy Lou who was no more than 2.
Steven.
Cindy Lou.
Audience also has it. It is Cindy Lou
Who was no more than 2.
Yes.
She's said with a coup and all of that jazz.
That didn't rhyme, Alden.
She prefers her redfish blue.
Question 6. Roman emperor who, by collecting taxes, fulfilled prophecy.
This is Christmas related?
Yes.
Does this have to do with killing Jesus or something?
No. Wrong end of the gospel.
I don't know.
Oh, hey. All right, hey, there we go. That says something.
There's a clue in there? I wish I knew how to interpret said clue, but whatever.
Well, are you aware what Christmas is? That should help.
It's the time where people
can't remember
put
the
things
emperor.
in socks and hang them on a very flammable place in their house.
Yeah, that's not it, but okay. Zane,
All
go
right,
ahead.
Jake.
I can't remember who was emperor. Augustus is what I'm going to guess.
Alden.
I've Nero. I don't know.
Steven.
Caligula.
The audience says Julius Caesar, but it is
Scroogeus. Someone said Scroogeus. Oh, I'm supposed to have this off. I'm sorry. It's not been helping me if that's any indication here. But that was funny. I don't know. See, now I want to see it.
It is Augustus. Good job, Jake.
Yes.
Damn it, Jake's doing well.
Yep.
He's in the
Almost
playoffs.
like I
and
love
he's
Christmas.
Doing well in trivia.
Question 7.
His moose class.
The Scottish poet who asks, should old acquaintance be forgot in verse?
I didn't
I
know there
know
was
the song.
any Scottish poets. I didn't know they had it in them,
Yeah.
as a people. And I'm Scottish, so I didn't know.
Definitely not an introspective people.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind?
Well, that's going to be a clip. All right, go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
O'Houlihan.
Alden.
I can't spell it, but it's like what's the name of the old Angus sign or whatever? I don't fucking know. I was just gonna further the song and hopefully he put his own name in the song. I don't know.
Steven.
Is it Henry Wadsworth Longfellow?
I think Longfellow was American, actually, but good job for actually naming a poet. The audience has it, though, because it is Robert Burns.
Robert Burns, yeah.
Hang
on.
I feel like Robert Frost, the poet, and we have Robert Burns, the poet. That's fucking hilarious, actually.
Go ahead, Zane. But I'm going to find out a poet whose name was O'Houlihan, and I'm going to rub it in your face.
All right. Question 8. Money for People promises this charity Happy Festivus.
Money for People? Happy Festivus.
What? Oh. Yes. Okay, got it. Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
The Human Fund.
Alden.
The Seinfeld charity.
Steven.
I got nothing.
Well, as a Festivus gift to all of you, I have made a donation in your name to the Human Fund.
Damn it! I couldn't remember the name.
That's great. That was a good reference.
With Festivus, but
all right. At the end of round 1, Jake is out in front with 6. Audience has 4. Alden has 3. Steven has 2.
Good job, Jake.
Yeah.
So there's a Houlihan who is a poet. Her name was Joan, and she's an American. So I wasn't totally wrong.
Okay.
Round 2, 2025 in review. Question 1. April 13th. What man wins the 89th Masters tournament and becomes only the 6th golfer in the modern era to complete the career Grand Slam?
What was the category name?
It's got to be Mr. Nichols.
2025 in review.
Okay.
It's not Mr. Nichols.
Damn.
Mr. Nichols has won the Masters before. The only part of the career Grand Slam that he doesn't have is the U.S. Open, and he's finished 2nd in the U.S. Open like 6 times, but he's never won it.
Jeez.
And now he's too old.
All right, go ahead.
Right, Jake.
Jordan Spieth. I don't know.
Well.
Alden.
That's the name I was actually trying to come up with, but I said Mickelson, which was my Nichols joke, but we've already said that wrong. So
I flipped a coin on this one. I'm going Rory McIlroy.
It's a good guess.
Audience is Happy Gilmore.
Because that's the golf game that I have as his namesake game, but couldn't even come up with that.
Well, the point goes to Steven's coin because it's Rory McIlroy.
Wow,
that's annoying. That is the only golf game I own. I should have said that.
That's so sad.
That's so stupid. It's like the one name I know, and I was like, well, clearly it's not that. Some golf game from like 2017. I don't know.
All right, question 2. April 22nd, the FDA announces plans to phase out what substance, which is otherwise known as disodium 6-hydroxy 5,2-methoxy-5-methyl-4 sulfonatophenyl diazenyl naphthalene 2-sulfonate.
Oh yeah, that one.
Bless you. Is this food related or drug related substance?
It's gotta
well,
be
food is
related.
a drug. So
well, we just established that, I guess, but you know what I mean, like pharmaceutical or like unregulated, like.
I'm guessing it's a food thing. Go ahead, I guess.
Jake.
Is it Red 40?
Alden.
It's DMT.
Steven?
I'm just saying red dye.
Oh, wow.
Can you be more specific?
Red 40.
Oh, that's the same.
Yeah.
Audience also has it. It is red 40.
It's not DMT. All the DMT that's in our food. It's not going to taste the same, the Doritos without DMT.
Well,
Jake's frozen.
It definitely wasn't the original
Anymore.
Jack 3D formula because that got phased out in like 2012. So,
Question 3. June 23rd. What phrase is redacted from this truce? And it's a post on Truth Social by Donald Trump. And it's very long, but it says, "Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the blank will be saluted by the world." I do love how this reads as though he's congratulating like both sides in a sporting event.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good effort by both
It's like the
sides.
referees before a match. It's like, gentlemen, congratulations for reaching this match.
Yeah.
We
Now
wanna-
shake hands.
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
I think it's the 12-day war.
Alden.
I said genocide. I have no idea what to expect from this guy.
Steven.
Occupation.
Audience does not have anything, but it is the 12-day war.
Damn, Jake.
Yeah. Oh,
It wasn't, the president didn't officially announce genocide. Darn.
Wow,
didn't congratulate a genocide. Yeah.
Give it a few more years. Yeah.
We got genocide congratulation before we got GTA 6.
That date just got pushed back again, goddammit.
It's going to be the most expensive video game ever produced.
It's gonna suck your dick. It's gonna be worth it.
Well, until Diablo 5 comes out. 'Cause then,
Question 4. July 9th. What company reaches a market capitalization of $4 trillion?
Steven doesn't know this. I'll be disappointed. If Alden knows this, I will be disappointed.
Oh, I think you'll be perfectly appointed by my answer. Why is that not the opposite of disappointed?
Jake.
That's a good question. NVIDIA.
Alden.
It's obviously Fleshlight.
Steven.
NVIDIA.
Audience says Amazon, but it is NVIDIA.
It's clearly Fleshlight.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the CEO is Jensen Wang.
Is that a real fact?
What's the guy's name?
I don't know, but that would be fantastic if that were true.
Question
All right, what's going on
5.
here?
September 12th, Ciesielski is sworn in as interim prime minister of what country after the previous prime minister was overthrown by the, quote, Gen Z protests. The protests were precipitated by government corruption in general, and particularly an attempted ban on social media.
Ciesielski.
Yep. Ciesielski. Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Nepal.
Alden.
That was... I should have gone with that. If that's right, I'll be upset. I said Indonesia.
It's Nepal.
Steven.
I'm in the middle of writing Philippines.
You say that's Nepal. It's the same thing.
No, I said it's Nepal.
The audience says Myanmar. It is Nepal.
Damn it. I swear to God, dude.
Which,
I'm so
for
mad.
all the vexillology nerds out there, you can know it's Nepal because they're the only country that does not have a rectangle as their flag. They've got this kind of stacked triangle.
Double triangle thing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Man, I should have went with my gut on that one. That's frustrating.
But your gut is hungry.
Well,
no, that's a very different country.
And if you live in Switzerland, your flag is a big plus.
Yes. Question 6. October 28th, Hurricane Melissa makes landfall in what country, severely damaging, among other things, Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay?
Do not remember this hurricane, and it was
either.
a month and a half ago.
Must have been in Venezuela because it wasn't in the news.
I also don't know where Montego Bay is, so this won't go well. Go ahead, Zane.
I'll make a guess.
Jake.
Haiti.
Alden.
Jamaica.
Steven.
Jamaica.
I see that both of you have listened to your fair share of Kokomo. It is Jamaica.
Oh, hey.
Haiti.
The hell's Kokomo?
Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama.
Yeah,
that's
Key Largo.
where I wanna go.
Yeah, that's what I
right.
listen to.
Yeah,
when
which
I wanna
oddly
be
enough,
ready.
that's where 25% of our Navy is.
It's a classic song, Alden. Just a
Key
classic
Largo,
song.
Montego.
I mean, if
All
that's
right.
on and I'm sunburnt and I'm drunk, then like, sure, I guess. Like, I'm never gonna play it on purpose.
All right. At the end of round 2, we've got Alden was 5, the audience was 6, Steven was 10, and Jake was 14.
Damn.
There you go. Coming at the back door.
Are you grooming your beard? What are you doing?
I'm saying feed me.
I'm kidding.
It's the Zeke.
All right. Round 3. This category is very simple. I will read to you the final verse of A Christmas Carol, and you will tell me which carol it is.
Okay.
This is not going to go well. I don't know the names. to
Figgy
any of
pudding.
these.
I did not say it was easy. I said it was simple.
Wait, you're giving the final verse. We named the carol. That was
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question 1. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we. Let all within us praise his holy name. His power and glory evermore proclaim. His power and glory evermore proclaim.
Why didn't they just spell power? It's the same amount of syllables. That's fucking retarded. Power. That's so
Power.
stupid.
It's so that you
Power.
can say the whole word in one syllable.
No, it's
Right.
you. The way you read it was power.
You pronounce it power. If you're saying it, you would pronounce you.
So it's a pirate Christmas. Power. All right, cool. Got it. That's cheating, by the way. I always thought that was cheating.
Go ahead, I guess.
Jake.
I think it's Angels We Have Heard on High.
Alden.
Yeah, high angels. That's what I was gonna say. No, I have no idea.
Steven.
My country, 'tis of thee.
The audience says, "Hark the herald angels sing." This is "O Holy Night."
Oh.
What do you do?
Question 2. Now to the Lord sing praises, all you within this place, and with true love and brotherhood each other now embrace. This holy tide of Christmas doth bring redeeming grace. O tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. O tidings of comfort and joy.
I got to take it out of my ear. I cannot remember. Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Comfort and joy.
Alden.
Santa baby.
Steven.
Hark the herald angels sing.
Audience doesn't have anything. This is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
Obviously.
If it was the one I just said, I was going to kill Steven.
See, I don't know the words of that one, but Mannheim Steamroller really knocks that one out the park.
Question 3. And we won't go until we've got some. We won't go until we've got some.
Okay.
We won't go until we've got some. So bring some out here.
Oh.
You know what?
I actually think I know.
Yeah, right?
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Alden.
I said I said a line, not the name. I said, bring us some figgy pudding. Because I just wanted to say figgy pudding and it be correct, but I was too hopeful.
That's in the third verse. This is the fourth verse. Steven.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Audience also has it. It is We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
I'm so excited.
But they do talk about figgy pudding in that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
what they're saying. We won't go until we get some. Yeah.
I'm not asking for a half a point, but I'm giving myself a half a point for just even knowing what carol it was. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to talk about figgy pudding in an accurate way.
Dude, that's so funny.
What do you do?
Question 4. He rules the world with truth and grace and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love and wonders of his love and wonders of his love.
They really like to repeat themselves in these.
Well, it is a song. It sounds a lot better when you sing it. It sounds weird when I just say it.
Like you should be singing these then.
No.
Vetoed immediately.
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Hark the herald angels sing.
Alden.
The Fellowship of the Ring.
Steven.
Hark the herald angels sing.
Eat a butt, Steven.
Audience has it because it is joy to the world.
No!
Oh, man. Not tonight.
Which means that at the end of trivia, Alden has 5, Audience has 12, Steven has 13, and Jake pulls out the victory with 17.
Hey!
How about them apples?
He did it, folks.
Oh, it felt good. Felt good.
Another second place in the belt. I'll take it.
We should definitely we used to keep a tally of winners and losers. I stopped doing that after year 1.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to know, at least for all of the times that I've hosted, I still have all of the score sheets saved.
Oh,
if you want the tally, I can provide it.
Okay. We might do that on the January 1st episode.
I did okay when Jake was hosting because Jake had more like classic style trivia that like I guess I know similar things as Jake, but ever since Zane took over, I have been sucking bad.
Yeah, me too, Alden. Jake meltdown avoided. You are correct.
Yeah,
I would have had a meltdown if Steven had somehow pulled out that victory. That would have been infuriating.
It could have come down to that last one, I think.
Yeah.
Because it was like a 3-point one, or
Yep. All right, we're going to quickly go through this this story because it's something that we've talked about before. There's a woman in Saskatchewan who was considering the MAID program, which is the assisted suicide program, because she couldn't get surgery for a rare disease that she had. She'd been turned away from a bunch of hospitals. They suggested using MAID.
Wow.
To this poor woman. And then who comes along? Glenn Beck comes along and offers to get her to the United States. And then a whole bunch of people chipped in and offered to help pay for the surgery. So, Steven, I think you put this in the chat, didn't you? Or was it Nick?
That was Nick.
Okay. So Nick put it in the chat, but
yeah,
it's wild. Like, we have a bunch of problems with our healthcare system, but if you're willing to show up and pay for a surgery, and there are hospitals that are like, nah, like,
that's pretty wild.
There's a massive problem with your healthcare system.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if there's like kill yourself, I'm golfing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. In Canada, it's actually illegal to pay for your own treatment. This is why it's so much easier for dogs to get x-rays than humans in Canada, because veterinary care is, pay to play. But human health care is, no, it's illegal to buy your own care.
So what
you
you're
have
saying
to do
is
it through the government health care.
Dogs carry currency in Canada.
Yeah. So this is this is like the brief analysis, not analysis, just basically this is just what happened. Man, I cannot find words tonight, y'all. She visited the provincial legislature on Tuesday to plead for help getting surgery to remove her remaining parathyroid gland. Currently, there is no Saskatchewan surgeon able to perform the operation. Van Alstyne said she must be referred out of province, but she can't obtain a referral without first being seen by an endocrinologist, and none of them are accepting new patients. Van Alstyne said the pain has become so unbearable that she has applied and been approved for MAID on January.
Oh, that was fast, though.
And so this is a fundamental problem with the training, because that second little paragraph there, currently there is no Saskatchewan surgeon able to perform the operation.
Yep.
Yeah.
You will not finish your schooling as a surgeon in the United States if you can't do any damn thing they ask you to.
Yeah. That's what I said. It sounds like a skill.
Now you're encouraged to specialize afterward. So like, you're not going to be the best, there's going to be a good chance that certain operations, they're not going to make it. But as a surgeon in the United States, you do surgery. Period.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might aim for the spleen and get the pancreas, but like something's coming out,
Yeah.
If you notice there how you need to get a referral from an endocrinologist to get approved to go out of province for something, but apparently it's much easier than that to get approved for MAID, because it specifically said she applied and was approved.
Yeah.
Which means the bench of people available to approve MAID is way larger than they have to actually do surgeries.
Or the bar is hella low, like where they're just like check, where there's a skill gap between what is expected of you and in the performance of the operation and what people are able to provide. And then with MAID, they're just like, how much thought goes into this? Are people just like, yep, you're in pain, go for it. You're approved. Like I don't know. It's frustrating.
It is. But good on Glenn Beck. There were so many people in the comments, including our own Angela McCardle, trying to figure out how to help this woman. And
I remember there was a internationally popular story just a couple of years ago that there was a Canadian military vet that was representing them in the Paralympics. Just needed like a simple, like, hey, I need you to re-up my prescription so I can get a motorized wheelchair instead of the standard, me pushing the wheels myself.
Right. And
they were like, hey, have you considered MAID?
Jesus.
And she's like, for real, bro? Like, I just represented you in the Paralympics. Like, I'm a decorated vet. Like, I'm in this wheelchair for you. And
yikes.
All I want is just like, just push a joystick to go forward instead of rolling the actual wheels. And you're asking me to kill myself.
This is where I'm like, I'm not on the side of like, if someone wants to end their life, I really feel like that's their choice. I'm not trying to like get in the way like too much or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's sad and I don't want to.
I'm trying to get in the way.
Well, and I hear that. That's okay or whatever. Like, I guess it's just one of those things where it's like, I can't control what someone chooses with their own life. And that's the whole point is like, but I don't want to promote the goddamn idea. I don't want it to be easier, vastly more accessible and recommended before.
And subsidized by the government.
And but recommended, easier, more affordable, problem solved, approved in a day, subsidized by the government. Like, all of these things, that's fucked. That is an entirely
and I have a question here too, because I don't fully understand the financial framework of Canada, but what does that do to a life insurance policy?
Good question.
Oh, that is an interesting.
Because I know here, like,
found to be suicide.
If it's suicide, if you're a drug addict, if you were drunk when you got in the car accident, like there's a whole host of things that
if
can.
You are the reason you died, basically, for negligence.
Okay, so
or intent.
I'm gonna put my actuary hat on here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
thank you. Yeah.
Specifically talking about life insurance, generally the only exclusion is suicide within the first 2 years after the policy. Because what you obviously don't want is someone getting the life insurance policy who already knows that they're going to kill themselves, because that's not how insurance works. You want insurance to insure you for random events, not events that someone already knows are going to happen. So, for a drunk driving accident, that I actually think would almost certainly be covered, because even though it's your fault, it's still a random event. And the point of life insurance, I mean, it's not even for you because you're dead. It's for your dependents. Right. So if you got killed, if you died because you were drunk driving, then it would defeat the point of even buying. It would defeat part of the point of buying the life insurance policy to begin with, if it had exclusions that maybe it was your fault but could not have been anticipated in advance. And that's actually why the suicide exclusion only applies for the first couple of years. Because if you buy the policy and then 20 years later you become suicidal and then kill yourself, at the time that you actually bought the policy, that actually was not, you were not contemplating that. So from the perspective of the policy, that's still a random event.
Okay.
Now, if God forbid, if MAID becomes such a big thing that it actually starts adversely affecting mortality, because if people start statistically dying younger because so many of them are choosing MAID instead of toughing it out or something, that could actually make life insurance premiums go up. And maybe there would start to be MAID exclusions if it happens too close to when you actually bought the policy. But I doubt that you would ever see like wholesale, if you choose MAID ever in your life, this policy is not paying out.
Okay. All right. Well, good on Glenn Beck. Good on all those other folks who helped this poor lady out.
Hey, there's another concept that we have that's something not entirely similar. But the state of Florida is now what's known as a free kill state. So there's a free kill law.
Similar to like Oregon or?
Well, no, it's not Kevorkian type stuff, but it's like medical malpractice. So, doctor comes in drunk, murders you on the table, because that's what happens if he clocks in drunk and does that.
Yep. Or manslaughter, technically, I guess.
For whatever reason, if you're looking at a med mal case and there's loss of life, next of kin. So if the victim was 25 years or hold on, here we go. So what the law does, so if the parent or adult child age 26 and up, you cannot sue for pain and suffering if their loved one was an adult, had no spouse, and no minor children when they died due to medical malpractice. So kid grows up. Hey, look, average age before they move out of the basement and buy a house these days is what, late 30s?
80, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's why the 50-year mortgage is becoming a thing, right? So, so parent or adult child aged, so, you have an adult child, 30 years old, no spouse, no kids, still kind of, lives with you, whatever, medical malpractice, the parents cannot sue the doctor for malpractice.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's in Florida. And that was one I heard John Morgan, from the law firm Morgan & Morgan. He was talking about that. I mean, that's screwed up.
That is messed up, man.
That is messed up.
It's almost as messed up as you can't sue the company that produces your vaccine if you get vaccine injured.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, there's it's real easy to look on the other side of the fence and go, hey, you guys got it bad. But
Jake started this whole thing with, we have a lot of problems with our system too. Yeah. So it's not just like we're holier than thou kind of thing.
Well, and this free kill thing, because that's what I was wondering too, of hey, are you still open to litigation? Can you litigate things if MAID is involved? Is malpractice even a factor in MAID? Can you prove that
you didn't kill me good enough?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, can you prove that they suffered inadequately or whatever?
That's fair.
Right? You know, like they do it all the time for death row. You know, like
I was going to say the electric chair, or
they'll botch the injection, and the guy's just sitting there writhing and screaming, and then like someone
why,
hit him with a
why
hammer.
do they swab for that injection?
Right? Yeah,
Come
like
on.
Question.
You worried about an infection, really? Like, what's the survivability rate that we're expecting for this fucking injection? Like,
yeah, right.
sorry.
Grab a needle out of the gutter from Skid Row and use that.
It's actually more effective. Now you have a backup infection in case you survive the first one. You die anyway. Like,
yeah, executioner used rusty needle. It's super effective.
Exactly.
Suing over Hep C gains from death injection. Like,
I thought that the advent of the free kill thing, throwback to trivia, advent of the free kill thing, had a parallel to MAID. I think that's kind of our insurance company's version of MAID, honestly.
Okay, to be fair I know that people don't like it when you try to be fair to the insurance companies, but I will also be clear that medical malpractice insurance is not the same as health insurance, and it's different players. So the property and casualty insurers that are involved with that maybe aren't as evil as all the health insurance companies. But the flip side of people being upset because you can't sue doctors enough for medical malpractice, the flip side of that is someone's like, oh, my toe hurts, I'm going to sue you for $10 million for pain and suffering. And then the clueless jury says, oh, well, it's just the insurance company that's going to pay it anyway. We can award this plaintiff $10 million. It doesn't matter. And then the insurance company is like, okay, well, I guess everybody's premium is going up now.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So us trying to assess how much money pain and suffering and like emotional distress is worse is a really tricky and funny thing to actually be able to do, because by nature it's not quantifiable.
That's right. And if we had a loser pays legal system, half of that crap goes away. You know, the dude that got $10 million from McDonald's because he burned his lap with scalding hot coffee. Like,
but if you lose the lawsuit,
really, bro, like you're on the way to make $10 an hour, and you scalded your lap that set you back 3 days, and you're getting $10 million. How is that real?
My first thought was that I like that, and then I did have a second thought, which is it really sucks for the people that lose a lawsuit who were genuinely owed money.
Yes.
And just lost because their lawyer sucked or whatever the case is. That really does suck.
And that was something John Morgan was talking about too, was like, you know, trying to sue some of these homeowners insurance companies, you know, like after a hurricane comes through, you know, like a Cat 4 that is very rare in terms of, you know, how you price things. So, you know, Cat 4, Cat 5 comes through, blows your roof off. You know, you basically need to rebuild the house, does $150,000 worth of damage to your $200,000 house.
Mm-hmm.
And then insurance company says, no, you sue them, you're awarded $200,000 to rebuild your house, but then the attorney gets 20% and you can't rebuild a house.
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh. That's a shitty situation.
I mean, like those are real issues. And these are things that, you know, yes, you know, homeowners and medical stuff, you know, they're different. It's apples and oranges, but there's a lot of similarities in that and the MAID, like all of that stuff is going to creep into that. And we're going to start questioning the very pillars of our society that should never, ever, ever be politicized.
Yep.
Zach says some states are bringing back the firing squad. Is that a real thing?
South Carolina.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. They shot somebody last year.
Oh shit. I didn't hear about this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
How would you guys prefer to go? And then Jake, you look like 2 times you're trying to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to make a joke, but the time has passed.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
That's a good question. How would I like to go if I was being executed?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, beheading would probably be the easiest one.
Electrocute, guillotine, firing squad, or shot. Yeah. I mean, injection, you know.
I don't want the guillotine. I want the super... I want the weakest
in the eyes, like
the weakest guy to swing an axe.
The rustiest blade.
That's That's actually really a problem, because what you absolutely don't want is for them to try to behead you and it's not a clean cut.
Right,
Yes,
obviously.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
Zane.
like a worst case sscenario.
I watched a lot of those videos while we were in Iraq, and it ain't good.
Yeah,
God.
No, that's
I think I actually would prefer the guillotine, because I know that's pretty sharp and it'll do the job.
Yeah, but then your head, I feel like you just maintain consciousness for a while, and then you're like watching the world roll around, and I don't know.
That would be pretty cool, though.
If,
Pretty cool.
If I caught that sentence, I'd want you to like tie an Antifa flag to me or something. Throw me off of an overpass during rush hour traffic, but let a government 18-wheeler be the one to actually run me over.
Fair enough.
Oh,
all right, y'all. We're gonna wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching till the end of the episode. We're gonna watch a few funny videos here in a minute, but before we do, head on over to our website, either libertylibations.show or peacefulseed.network. And you can check out all the other shows on the platform, as well as all the stuff that we put out for social media. Go follow us on X and Instagram, and we have a TikTok now. Just all of them. We don't have a Snapchat. Yeah, we have a TikTok. We don't have a Snapchat. I've heard Snapchat is a thing. Not gonna happen.
No.
Don't got time unless I end up hiring some Gen Zer who's 20 years old or whatever. I'm not getting on Snapchat. So
I will leave, which might be better for everybody. Actually, I don't know. But
okay, so tomorrow we're gonna launch our Snapchat.
I'm out.
But go check out all our stuff. Cascade Effect season 2 is being produced at the moment, and it's going to be a doozy. There's murder, there's child sex trafficking, sexual abuse, all sorts of insane stuff in this season.
Merry Christmas.
That the cops in Cascade County failed every step of the way, and even harmed all the people involved. So,
well, in your line of work, you moved to a good spot, Jake, because there seems to be no shortage of space.
I'm just happy I live 30 miles away from it and not in it.
That's fair.
That's the best part of it. So go check all that out. We're gonna watch a few funny videos, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Wait, before we do, need to hear. I promise the people.
Yes, the people need to hear Zane's announcement. So Zane. Wait. Zane, hang on, buddy. Zane, take it away.
Nice.
All right. So as I announced the last week, I have a very important announcement to make, which I am happy to announce my candidacy for Fulton County Soil and Water District Supervisor.
There we go.
Do you want to bring up the site, Jake?
Yes. Let me get to it real quick. And boom.
All right. So the site currently doesn't have anything on it except for my one introductory post, because honestly, if I asked for money, you shouldn't give it to me, at least not right now. And I'm still trying to work out some minor details of my campaign, like my platform and my messaging strategy. But I would assume that most people in Fulton County don't even really know that soil and water district supervisors are a thing. And if they ever think about it, it's when they go to actually vote. And it's either one person running for one position or two people running for two positions. I did look at the election data, and this race has not been contested since at least 2018.
Wow.
So there's an election for it every 2 years. And at least going back to 2018, I couldn't find any data before that. But it has been completely uncontested election every time for at least a decade. And I think, who cares if I'm qualified for this position or not? It's high time that somebody remind these guys that they're accountable to the people, and they don't just get to be their own little social club where they get to distribute grant money and annoy property owners however they feel like it because no one's paying attention to them. I need to become your next Fulton County Soil and Water District Supervisor so I can find out what they do, because honestly, I don't know. And I went onto their website. And there's a link on the website that says follow this link to find our previous meeting minutes. And you know what? The link does nothing because the link's broken. And then I filled out their contact form. I'm like, hey, please send me the minutes from your previous meetings. And want to know what happened? Nothing. They did not respond to me at all. I want to know what they're trying to hide from us, right? They're obviously trying to hide something here.
They're clearly burying bodies in that soil.
It's soil and water, so I'm sure it's fluoride related.
I was gonna ask. That's funny.
No, so I did look into this. I don't think
okay.
It's Fulton County Public Works that's responsible for the fluoride in the water. But from my cursory review, it appears that what this body mostly does. It's all unpaid, by the way. So these people are really just in it for the love of the game, the game of lecturing people about conservation or something. It really seems like all they do is work with people to distribute grant money and report erosion control violations. So
okay.
The kind of person who would sign up to do that for no pay is not the sort of person that should be in office.
Except for you.
Except for me, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love your pitch. I don't know anything about it. I need you to vote for me so that I can figure out what's going on here. It's awesome.
I love it. I love it.
So go to voteplacie.com, learn about my campaign, spread the word.
What little you can at this point.
Yeah.
Plus it's about a year off, so they have some time.
November 3rd, 2026. So the guy that ran in 2024, obviously because he was unopposed, but it's a county-wide position, got 400,000 votes, and nobody has any clue what this guy does or who he is. Which means that just by virtue of appearing on the ballot, I honestly think I will receive at least tens of thousands of votes.
You might receive more votes than any other libertarian has gotten in a since
Chase ran for Senate.
Yeah.
Oh man!
And what's
in the
great
state
about
of Georgia,
the great thing about it is, some people will be familiar with all of the Libertarian Party of Georgia's ballot access problems. The only thing I need to do to appear on the ballot as an official candidate is get 25 signatures, which is pretty doable, and there's no filing fee. So what could possibly go wrong?
Cut to December of 2026.
Dude, I need to see if this position in Fayette County is being filled.
Yeah,
all the counties have them.
Oh yeah.
Should we just try to find one libertarian in each county and then just control the soil and water of Georgia?
They're saying that's what the elites are doing next. Is they're going after water rights.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Farmland and water rights.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and then in Metro Atlanta, we have something called the Municipal North Georgia Water Preservation District, the MNGWPD, and they all get together and they set water policy for a lot of municipalities.
Officially too much about Georgia.
Yeah,
I went after the fluoride thing pretty hard.
No, I actually respect
it's commendable. It's I don't know anything about a single subject as much as you know about Georgia. It's wild.
Agreed.
How much is
you
stored in
combine,
that brain of
surveyor, map knowledge with the love of freedom in their own state, and it's like Stephen Georgia knowledge. It's insane.
All right, go to voteplacie.com, everybody. Check it out, and you've got about 11 months to go place your vote for Zane. So let's get on to
I'm not going to say vote often because that might actually be encouraging electoral fraud now that I'm officially a candidate.
All right, let's
tell your dead grandma vote for Zane.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right. First video of the evening. Movie intros coming in 2026.
Oh, because they did the acquisition. So it's like Warner Brothers and Netflix. I guess Paramount too. And HBO.
Helped out with this one too.
know, this might not be the best. Yeah, let's turn this off.
The DJ
Woody
Mustard.
Allen.
Oh god.
So good. I love that he turns it off at Woody Allen. There's a comment saying basically the same thing. That's hilarious.
All right. Second one. A man lit a cigarette in the beluga interaction area at the aquarium.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Freaking beluga shot him with some water. All right. Me looking over at my wife when I overhear a parent bringing up conspiracy theories at our kid's birthday party.
No. No.
Oh, goodness. That's definitely happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, without a
yeah.
doubt.
Oh yeah.
Zero bilisibit bilibis Zero bilisibit Zero bilisibit Zero bilisibit bilibis Zero bisibibilil bisilility Zero bilisibit.
Oh god.
We're going to end with a classic now that we're in the actual Christmas season. I don't know. We're going to talk about, no, we're not going to talk about anything. Goodness gracious, Alden.
Oh, man.
Oh man, that's so good. That kid, I love that he does a second roar.
Yeah. Do you think you have the Cheetos before that performance? Or?
Yes, right. Yeah.
So. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in till the end. Really appreciate it. Merry Christmas to everybody. Zane is out next week. I think Zane's out for the next 3 weeks. So no Zane trivia for 3 weeks.
He's got to go research dirt or whatever.
But we will be having a show next week. We will have a guest next week. We will not be having one on Christmas Day, but we will be having one on New Year's Day. So make sure to tune in to our literal 3-year anniversary of this show on January 1st of 2026. So stay tuned. We'll try to have, that'll be a little bit longer show. We'll try to have some guests on that we'll bring back from that have been on before. So thank y'all for watching. Peace, everybody.
Cheers.